Hi everybody, this is the Football Hut, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the people's champion. Your host, the Hut, and welcome back to the Football Hut. And of course, subscribe to this channel and like this video. We're going to talk about the Cardinals defense going up against the Giants in week 2 of the NFL season. And we'll start this video right now. I need you to hit that subscribe button. This channel's doing pretty good. All things considered, it's been a little inconsistent here, but we're going to get all this content out to you as quickly as I can. From SI.com, New York Giants Week 2, examining the Arizona Cardinals defense. Brandon Olson takes a look at the personnel and scheme of the Arizona Cardinals defense. All right, let's go through this. New York Giants offense started solid against the Cowboys this past really? But once the going got tough, the Giants' offense went home. Let me tell you something. They didn't get off the ground. They had 2 carries that were good. That was a complete mess. And they lost 40-0. So what offense are we talking about here? In week 2, the Giants faced a defensive scheme they are familiar with as new Arizona Cardinals head coach Jonathan Gannon spent the past 2 seasons as the Philadelphia Eagles defensive coordinator. The Giants need this game in the worst way, as to take a 0-2 reckoning to San Francisco 4 days later would be a recipe for a meltdown. So let's get to know the Cardinals defense. The personnel. The strength of the Cardinals defense is likely up front on the edge, although there are not overwhelming positives on the roster. Zavon Collins is the primary edge defender with Victor Dimukekichi and Dennis Gardneck rotating in on the opposite side. Gardneck and Dimukekichi are the better pass rushers on the edge, while Collins is the versatile option we'll discuss in the scheme section. Gardneck broke out in 2020 as an exceptional pass rusher on limited reps with 18 pressures on just 79 opportunities and has impressed as a rusher ever since. Last week he had 3 pressures and 2 sacks on 15 opportunities against the Washington Commanders. In the second half, Kaiser White followed Gannon from Philadelphia to continue playing the defensive scheme where he's found the most success in his NFL career. Josh Woods is his running mate at inside linebacker, although saying he leaves a lot to be desired would be a massive understatement. I expect, and this is what the article says, I expect Chris Barnes to see more playing time this week. The secondary is incredibly young at cornerback with experience at safety. Rookie 6th-round pick Kaytrell Clark is starting on the boundary opposite Marco Wilson, and Buda Baker and Kayvon Wallace as the starting safeties, and Jalen Thompson playing mostly out of the slot. The corner duo is relatively small, as Clark is 5'10 and Wilson is 5'11. Still, they did a good job in week 1 of limiting the Commanders' receivers from bullying them or creating separation, although Wilson did give up 37 yards in the defensive pass interference. The defense needs reliable safety play, and they got just that from Baker and Wallace. Wallace also came to the Cardinals from the Eagles under Gannon's command. With that system, the safeties are relied upon to read, react, and attack from their own spots while also helping defenders in every facet of the game. Under the combination of Gannon as head coach and Nick Rallis as defensive coordinator, the Cardinals have slight changes from their days together as Eagles. The defensive front is less of a 4-down defensive front and more of a hybrid 4-2-5, meaning there are more 3-4 principles up front. The article mentions Zavon Collins' versatility earlier, and he's one of the key pieces of this Cardinals defensive system being able to function the way it wants to. His ability to be used as both a pass rusher and cover man allows this team to be as multiple as they want to be, even if it means 1 week being used primarily as a pass rusher, with the next week seeing him drop into coverage on most of the snaps. As with most modern defense, the Cardinals will come out with a too-high shell more often than not, although against the Giants it wouldn't shock me if they brought an extra safety into the box more often than usual. The Cardinals don't blitz very often, but when they do, every player but the far field cornerback is an option as a rusher. Against the Commanders, the Cardinals brought an off-ball linebacker on the blitz on 13% of pass defense snaps, while blitzing a safety of 10.8%. Now, what does this mean for the Giants? Giants' offensive line is unimpressive, and they're going against an equally unimpressive Cardinals defensive interior this weekend. However, the article says they would still expect the Giants to be able to win that battle in the trenches. Running the football outright with Saquon Barkley should be a focal point, but trying to operate the zone read should help open up this rushing attack. The Giants' offensive line was simply outplayed against Dallas, but they also found success on that first drive, perhaps signaling their potential to create rushing lanes. Jones' versatility will always be his biggest strength, regardless of his improvements as a passer, because his mobility is just that threatening. The Cardinals have a young, small cornerback duo in Clark and Wilson. While both corners are physical at the line of scrimmage, if there was ever a time to lean on Darren Waller playing out wide and Isaiah Hodgins finding success, this is the game. The inside linebackers for Arizona were relatively impressive against the Commanders, allowing completions on the interior almost at will. Sam Howell went 11 for 16. There's no reason Jones shouldn't be able to find similar success over the middle. Now, this is the final thoughts of this article. When Gannon was the defensive coordinator for the Eagles, his defense was as intimidating as possible. A big reason for that was due to his defense allowing him to play a bend, don't break style of elite players both along the defensive front and in the secondary. While he might eventually have that in Arizona, he doesn't right now. The expectation should be for the Giants' offense to get back on track against the Cardinals team that, on paper, should be in contention for the first overall pick. Oofa. So this is not a great situation for the Arizona Cardinals. So I would also expect the Giants will probably win this game. I'd be very shocked if they didn't, to be honest with you. I predicted that they were going to win this game in the last few weeks. And I would say that I'm not surprised the Giants lost week 1 against the Cowboys. Just the manner and how they were dominated in the game, that was the shock. I don't expect this to be a dominating performance by the Giants, but I do expect them to win because they're expected to win. And I think next week, they'll probably start the season 1-2. Next week against the 49ers, I guess on Thursday night, a week from today, is going to be a rough game. I'm going to be honest with you. If you're subscribing to this channel, I will keep it real when it comes to Giants. I'm not going to be all sunshine and rainbows. There's no sunshine and rainbows in this channel. I will tell you what I think. I think they'll finish 9-8. So far, their record is what I thought it would be. I think they'll win this week. I think they'll be a very comfortable win against the Cardinals. I think it'll be a real struggle against the 49ers. They're one of the best teams in the NFC and one of the best teams in the NFL. So I could see them starting at 1-2. But let's get through this week. I don't want to look ahead, but get the first win. You always want to get that, and I think they'll get that this week against the Cardinals. I guess they're a 4.5-point favorite against the Cardinals right now. So I think Darren Waller will be huge. I think the passing game and spots will be important. But Saquon Barkley, they've got to get protection for that for Daniel Jones and Barkley. If they don't, they're going to struggle to score points in this game. But I think they'll win. So thank you for watching this video. Of course, please subscribe to the Football Hut, and I'll see you later.